Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got new details on flashback scenes during Avengers 4 thanks to one of the actors talking about stuff on a podcast when he probably shouldn't have said anything, but I'll explain what's going on. There's a new round of that Spider-Man PS4 game giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a Marvel-related comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. Recently, Frank Grillo went on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, and they were talking mostly about UFC-related stuff, but they started talking about the Avengers movies. He said he himself doesn't spend a lot of time watching that, like he doesn't watch anything fantasy or sci-fi or anything like that, so he hasn't even seen the latest Infinity War movie. But when they asked him if they're going to see his character again, because they did spend a lot of time talking about Winter Soldier and Crossbone's character, he was being a total bro, so I'll just read his quote here verbatim. He says, "He makes an appearance in the next Avengers movie, but because he's dead, it's a flashback. I'm allowed to say whatever I want because I'm never doing another Marvel movie."
There you are, you son of a bitch. I've been waiting for this! I think I look pretty good, all things considered.
Who's your buyer?
You know he knew you. Your pal, your buddy, your Bucky.
What did you say?
He remembered you. I was there. He got all weepy about it. Till they put his brain back in a blender. He wanted you to know something. He said to me, "Please tell Rogers. When you gotta go, you gotta go."
He joked that it's not so much because Crossbones is dead, but because he refers to himself as being like 117 years old. So we're getting a Captain America Crossbones specific flashback. There are really only two scenes that could be. Him during Captain America Civil War, and then him during Winter Soldier. The Captain America Civil War moment was a little bit more comic booky because he has that full gear on and they just totally throw down. And it was sort of the beginning of the end of the Avengers and them breaking up because of what Scarlet Witch accidentally did, killing all those people when she was trying to save some other ones. And because of things that Chris Evans has been talking about in real life lately, which I'll address later, it's also that moment that he has where he says, "Bucky wanted you to know, when you gotta go, you gotta go." So it's a big moment about his history with Bucky, with Crossbones, with the Avengers breaking up, and about quote-unquote going out in a metaphorical way. The events of Winter Soldier are also particularly important for Captain America just because of how he toppled Hydra during that movie. So it was such a big event in his history.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
So it just depends on what they're using the flashback to provide context for in the future. There are only a couple of reasons why you do flashbacks. You typically do those in finales to show how much a character has grown. Like, look at what they used to be like, look at this big event in their life and how it changed them and what they seem like today. Then also to remind the audience about some critical piece of information that informs what's happening with the problem they're trying to solve in present day. So I think because Avengers 4 is all about the Avengers coming together as a true team, it's probably going to be a Civil War beginning of the end flashback. Like, this was the event that slowly led to our downfall during Civil War as we slowly come back together with the help of Captain Marvel and take down Thanos and fix the universe. So, I mean, it's kind of a bummer when Avengers 4 picks up, but it's meant to be a more hopeful ending than the end of Infinity War. And the fact that Frank Grillo does that funny "I'm getting too old for this shit" by saying he's 117 years old and he doesn't have the energy to do Marvel stuff anymore makes it seem like it's a relatively action-heavy scene where he's wearing a lot of gear, which would be more of a Civil War moment, but he didn't say what kind of a costume he was wearing or anything like that. But just the sheer fact that they're doing a flashback with his character is important because while we had seen all these behind-the-scenes pics of the original Battle of New York with the Avengers in their classic costumes, we didn't know if it would be a flashback-heavy movie. But like I said, usually that's what you do in a big finale, and this is sort of like the last really big Avengers movie for the Phase 1 Avengers. Maybe not the last Marvel movie that they ever appear in, but this is sort of their Avengers retirement party as they sort of usher in all the new heroes like Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and the old ones sort of transition to background roles. Like Black Widow will continue on in her movie, but that's set during the past. Iron Man keeps talking about retirement. Chris Evans openly spoke about how he's not going to do any more Marvel movies and started tweeting stuff, making people think that he was going to die.
I don't know. You don't want to give anything away, and I should clarify that, I know I did tweet something that made a lot of people think that it was in some way spoiler. And I should clarify that regardless of how Avengers 4 ends, I would have tweeted the exact same thing. You know, it really was, you know, that last day of filming was a very emotional day, and it's the culmination of almost 10 years of filming and 22 movies, this unbelievable tapestry, and you know, you feel a lot more emotions than I think even I thought I'd feel, and you know, I felt it was appropriate to share the gratitude. I know it had a ripple effect, but I am neither confirming nor denying anything.
But you can kind of see as a storytelling device how they're hitting all the biggest moments that they have together. Like during Age of Ultron, when they all went around after they found out what Tony had done with Ultron, accidentally creating him with the help of the Mind Gem. His quotes during that are really important. That up there, that's Endgame. So it's them talking about big picture stuff. And that's what Avengers 4 is. It's the culmination of all the big picture stuff. Unfortunately, the Russos did confirm that the title of Avengers 4 has never actually been spoken in dialogue in any of the movies that they know of. So Iron Man saying the words Endgame during that speech mean that that's not going to be the title of the movie. It was one of my early theories. There have been a couple others that have been knocked off the list. There's even this clip that someone cleaned up of Mark Ruffalo saying The Last Avenger. The audio is a little weird, but he really does say The Last Avenger. The reason why I'm still a little bit skeptical even after that is because his whole appearance there was meant to be a bit of a troll to get people to watch, thinking that he would spoil something from Avengers 4 so that he could then turn around and tell them to go out and vote in the upcoming election happening in the United States. So I will be very surprised if the title is The Last Avenger. Whatever the title is going to be, I still think that it's going to be 2 words and Avengers will come first. So it'll be Avengers subtitle. And if Marvel doesn't officially release that by mid-November in the next couple of weeks, then I'd be willing to bet that they're just going to save it for a title card in the trailer at the end of November when they drop that. I've already done a couple videos about when that's probably going to drop. It'll probably be on Good Morning America. We'll get some more specific information when we get closer. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about this Frank Grillo interview, and which scene do you think that they did a flashback to? Is it going to be Captain America Civil War, full comic book Crossbones, because that's more of an Avengers moment, or do you think it's going to be a Winter Soldier flashback? Right now, I'm just leaning towards more Avengers stuff with him in full comic book gear, but we'll find out more pretty soon. Leave all your Marvel video requests in the comments below. Congratulations, Ryan Bracamonte, you're the giveaway winner for my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Click here for that teaser about Iron Man's new armor during Avengers 4, and click here to watch Chris Evans talk about his Avengers 4 scenes. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.